Marvel rival players are entitled, are insufferable, are hypocritical, are sometimes toxic, sometimes believe they could do no wrong. And the main thing is that they're egotistical as well. And I'm really going to be addressing these players. And the only reason why I got this idea to even begin with and addressing them is because a lot of people leave a lot of comments under my posts, basically saying that I don't know what I'm talking about or most of my takes are bad. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm always 100% right and I know what I'm talking about. You know what? They can make that argument if they want that my takes are bad. That's all. They can do all that stuff. But some of their takes are just not it. And it kind of just shows their behavior as a player. And the number one thing is people didn't really like is when I was advocating for triple DPS, that you should go triple DPS or triple DPS isn't a thing. And people are complaining for no good reason. The only reason why triple DPS is even like an issue is because your team makes it an issue. And I'm still going to stand with that point. But I'm going to be addressing the misconceptions that people are getting, but also addressing how people respond to that type of... And the number one misconception people are getting from this is that I just want to go triple DPS and I don't want to be accommodating and I don't want to be doing a boring role or something like that. They're basically just saying I'm just egotistical and I don't want to compromise. I'm the reason why we lose games or something like that. But the thing is, triple DPS isn't really to like be... just do whatever you want, just lock in and have a good time. And it doesn't matter about winning or anything or about what your team thinks. Yes, it does fall under that category, but it's not really what it's cracked up to be. Like, you're missing some sort of context behind it. And most players don't really make up the context or don't really try to understand the context. The context they see is from their own personal experience. And what I mean by this is that every time they saw a triple DPS on their team, they usually ended up losing that game. That triple DPS was just throwing. They saw two DPS players and then decided to go third, and they ended up losing, a bunch of reasons why they don't like triple DPS. But the main reason I was advocating for triple DPS is because under the context of this game and like fundamentally how this game is brought up, how it's updated, the skin distributions, everything up until season 9, down from the creators, down to the matchmaking system, down to the content creators and everything in between, this game is always incentivizing not to be taken serious. This game isn't like Apex, it isn't like League of Legends, it isn't like Valorant. Well, I don't even know, maybe not like Valorant. But this game it's not screaming competitive. Like, you don't really get rewarded that much for being a good player and taking it serious. Most of the times you actually get rewarded for not caring at all. Because the moment you take this game serious is the moment you're going to realize that nothing in this game is really in your control. And I'm not trying to sound like nihilistic or trying to sound like nothing really matters because nothing is in control or something like that, or I'm trying to not take accountability. What I'm trying to say is that this game has a lot of aspects catered to just being quote unquote fun and quote unquote not being competitive. But if you look at it, a lot of people complain about the matchmaking system, basically rigging them to decide when they have wins and when they don't have wins, deciding when they're going to have good teammates and bad teammates, when they're going to have bot lobbies where they basically just get a free easy win. All of these things are playing a role to what Marvel Rivalry really is as a game. It's supposed to show you that going triple DPS is going to hurt if the game doesn't even have role queue to begin with, doesn't have a good matchmaking system, has broken abilities, broken team up abilities, triple support still being busted from day one at this game's launch. Like, it's just showing us that triple DPS is like the last thing on your like priority list that you should be worried about. People are always worried like, you're going triple DPS? But at the same time, like, bro, like, there's no role queue in this game. The matchmaking system is rigged. There's a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't be crashing out over someone going triple DPS. And people really try to hide behind the reason why you shouldn't be triple DPS is you're not being a team player. And I'm a team player, and because I'm doing everything for we could win and I don't want to lose. People just only saying that because they're bad at the game. And what I mean by this, I'm going to explain it further, but I'm just going to put that out there right now. And the first reason I'm really going to is that when I say like people are trying to hide behind the reason they're team players because they're trying to win. No, people are trying to hide behind the reason. That reason is because they're just selfish players. Everyone in Marvel Rivals is selfish. The number one thing I agree with the people that criticize me, but also bring good points, is that this game is very egotistical. Nobody wants to switch. Nobody wants to accommodate to others. Nobody wants to be that player where they're the fill player, where they are basically the team player. They're always willing to sacrifice their own enjoyment for the sake of winning. Like, people really try to chalk themselves up to be those type of players, but they're not. The only reason they think themselves as that player is because they're playing support. It's a support role, so they're helping the team. And DPS, the only job is to get finals and like the only reason why they want to be DPS is they think they have main character syndrome. Everyone has main character syndrome in this game. There's probably another reason why you can't take this game too serious at all. Everyone thinks they're doing the right thing, that they're not selfish, but they are. They just want to have a good time. They want to be accommodated to. It's kind of hypocritical. Like, they honestly think like, oh, they want to hide behind the reason by, oh, I'm just trying to do this for we can win. No, they're trying to hide behind that. They're not realizing they're being hypocrites as well. It's because that the moment they're the ones that have to accommodate, they don't want to do it. And I'm going to say this right now. Like I said, one of the reasons I gave was because they're bad, is because they're bad. They don't want to accommodate because the moment they're forced to swap to a different support, swap to a role they're not comfortable with, be that bigger team player, be that bigger person, be that non-egotistical person, they sacrifice what they want to play for the sake of winning, they do not want to do it. And like the main reason I said is basically because they know they're bad. Imagine you were to take a boosted support player that just plays Cloak and Dagger in this. Let's say you force them to play DPS, or you force them to play a support they're not comfortable with. The moment you suggest that they should compromise or put the opportunity that was their chance to be that team player, they're gonna fold. Because they know once they go to a support they're not comfortable with, a role they're not comfortable with, they're gonna feel like they just got done dirty. Like, bro, I don't play this role. I don't play this. I don't want to do this. They're gonna expose like, bro, I'm only good on Cloak and Dagger and Luna Snow, and they're gonna be exposed. They don't want to do it because it's miserable. They don't know how to play that role. But this is what most people, they're not realizing. They're hypocrites when they do this to other players. And the only reason like they get shielded, besides trying to pose that, oh, we're doing this just to win, is because everyone's always on the bandwagon effect when it comes to DPS players. They'll be like, oh, DPS aren't getting in the finals and that's their only job and they're doing bad at their job. Then they're bad and they're the reason why we should put the blame on them because we lost the game. And the only reason why support players really behave like this is because they have the easiest role in this game. Like, supporting and just healing. Why do you think they're like heal bots, they're stat bots? They only care about their healing stat. Why do you think they're hard stuck? They don't like to be creative. They just care about their stats, about healing. Like, it's so funny to me how these players really try to really talk and think like they know what they're talking about, but don't realize their own like fallacies, their own hypocrisy, their own like holes they have, their arguments. They really think like they're trying to get this moral high ground. And it's easy for them to do this, especially when they see a short like mine's advocating for triple DPS, and advocating that you shouldn't be taking this game serious. And then like, see, this is a prime example of why players are egotistical, don't want to accommodate, and this is the reason, you're the reason why you're that triple DPS player that is always throwing, always feeding, always making players do this and that. And the thing about it is that like they don't realize what they're talking about when they say this thing. Like, just because you have like 1,000 hours on this game, you've been here since the start, you have a champion icon, you've been GM consistently, or maybe your peak has been Celestial 1, Celestial 3, and you feel like you know what you're talking about. And another reason, like I said, they try to hide behind their stats. Like, well, I'm always healing, I'm always having my ult up on time, I'm always getting ultimate charge the best way possible. That's objectively correct. The thing about it is that that's like the easiest role. It's like trying to hold yourself to standards that should have been, that aren't really standards. It's like when someone says like, well, at least I don't do X, Y, and Z, and people out there are doing X, Y, and Z. Like, why are you holding yourself to like low standards? Like, people try to hold themselves to like common standards. Like, it's like when saying like, oh guys, I have a job and I do this and I pay my bills. Like, bro, that's what you're supposed to do when you're an adult. I'm just giving an example right here. This is what I mean. Like, people really just don't know what they're talking about. Another example I'm going to give is literally going double or going the second tank. You know why people don't like going tank? Well, most people right now, it's miserable. You don't really get rewarded from it. You basically, like I said, you don't really get like satisfaction from playing support, not support, tank, because they have an important role, but the role isn't impactful. Like, you aren't getting frags, you aren't constantly keeping people alive. Sometimes tank is literally like a role where like you basically be the reason why your team loses, or you can be the main reason why your team wins, but it doesn't really show up in the stats. Unless you're really cracked and like they're running full squishy comp, you can probably get a lot of them, just like a DPS player. But that's if you put a lot of hours and you're always on cooldown management and you know how to like get finals. But most of the times, these players that advocate for like, please go a second tank, I don't want to be solo taking, the only reason why they're doing this, they try to hide behind the reason that like, we shouldn't be going single tank because that's how we're going to lose games, and you should be going another tank with me. The only reason they're doing this is because they don't want to suffer at all. They want to be accommodated to as well. They don't want to be like by themselves just suffering. They just wanted someone else to take off the heat from them. And the thing is, they try to hide behind this reason. We're like, oh, we're doing this because it's the best way to win. You gotta compromise. I'm like, how about you compromise and do something else entirely? But these players don't want to do this. I feel like this is probably one of my weakest points, what I just said. But I'm just giving an example of what I see. Yeah, I'm gonna give better examples right now. Support players or triple support or whatever you want to call it at this point. Heal boosted players, whatever. The moment, like, I will make an argument like, all right, like they would try to make an argument saying like, if you don't know how to play or you don't know how to fill, why are you playing rank? You shouldn't be playing this game at all. If you don't know how to fill, how to play another role, we're in 9 seasons in this game, and you still don't know how to play another role, and you only know how to one-trick Spider-Man or something like that. I'm like, all right, you know what? It says I only can play one role. No, I can actually play 2 roles. Let me go support, and you go that other role. You have to be the one that compromises. You have to be that bigger player, that better team player, all for the sake of winning, right? You care about winning? All right, bet. Since you know how to play tank sometimes, or DPS, whatever your second main role is, get off Cloak and Dagger, get off Invis. Let me go them instead, and let me see you try to perform. Let me see you do the work that I do, and let's see how you perform. And the moment you can't chalk up some elims or get some finals, you're gonna understand like, damn. The only reason why they're saying this is because they don't want to be put in that spotlight. They know they're going to be exposed as frauds. They're going to be exposed for basically being hypocrites in their arguments. Like I said, like I think someone put this in my comments before. People are just egotistical in this game. Everyone thinks they're doing it because they want to win. But the moment they're put in the spotlight, they have to be the ones really testing themselves. It's the moment they fold. Everyone's like, yeah, do this for the team, do this for the win. But the moment they're put in that situation, they instantly fold. They try to make excuses like, no, I shouldn't be off support because I'm a Cloak and Dagger main. And why would it make sense to me? They'll make a bunch of excuses why they can't go a second role. Like, and it's crazy because I feel like support at this point is the second most popular role, which is kind of obvious. But now I'm starting to think it's the main role everyone wants to play because it's literally just the easiest role that you can't get blamed for. So it has like a lot of defense for not being able to be bad. For an example, like nobody looks up at support for the reason why they lost. Some DPS players and some tank players do call them out. For majority of them, even if they do get called out, they try to hide behind their stats. Like, but I have my 60k healing, 60k healing. I had the least amount of deaths, and I have the most saves, and I have the most assists, and my ultimate was always up. But like that's like objectively the easiest role in this game. They try to hide behind these objectively good stats to try to justify why they were good. And the thing about it is like to prove my point even further, look at people that go DPS and drop 50 finals, 30 finals, and end up still losing the game. Like, why do you think they lost? It's because they were like, people focus too much on stats. They try to hide behind their stats. But the moment you stop hiding behind stats, it's the moment you actually get out of Diamond, you actually get out of Grandmaster, you actually start being a better player. But nobody wants to do that. Everyone wants to have a good time. Everyone is in this game is egotistical. They just think they're less egotistical or more of a team player because they're going the traditional 2-2 route where like double support, double tank, and double DPS. But I'm telling you right now, these players are just hypocrites. They're entitled to other people's time. They want people to accommodate to them. They don't want to be they don't want to be the ones accommodating. And the only reason they don't want to accommodate is because either one, it sucks. You basically you don't get to have your pick. And the second one is like they try to hide, like I said, like they try to hide behind their stats. They try to hide behind the reason like, oh, but I'm doing this to win and this is the best optimal. They try to behind a bunch of reasons. It is why you think when like you see streamers or even like Ignite, I guess. No, not really Ignite, not the professional scene in this game. But you see streamers or people that play in high lobbies like Celestial. Why do you think the supporters on their team are always constantly switching and the DPS players are constantly switching? Why do you think they don't have these arguments? It's because they literally are willing enough to accommodate. They're willing enough to like sacrifice a little bit. But support players, I'm only bringing support because they're the loudest. And the only reason that I don't really care if they're boosted. They can be boosted all they want. Like they can take pride in being boosted or having the easiest role and doing good and having good. Like I can care less if they enjoy the skins, whatever. Is when they think they know what they're talking about and have attitude or be toxic because they think they know what they're talking about and they think they're right when they're actually not. Like it's kind of crazy how like these players really have high egos and really try to pretend like they're laying down law when it comes to this game. But all of this to say, I'm basically just giving examples why you should not be caring that much about this game. So many things in this game are, so I'm not trying to sound like a basically like a whining person, but a bunch of things in this game are not designed to be taken serious. Like, look at all the broken ability in this game. Look at the amount of healing. Look at Cloak and Dagger's team up ability that she got with Luna Snow. You telling me that you're supposed to take that serious? Like, she literally has like 3 abilities that basically negate a bunch of damage, negate her from dying, basically. And you're gonna tell me that, yeah, this game is 100% competitive, it's taken serious, and support players will eat it up, and support players, what do people say? Support players will look dead in your eye and tell you this is balance. It is like, I don't know how to say it, like, you cannot take the players in this game serious. You can't take the gameplay, the balance changes serious. The moment you take it serious, you're gonna end up crashing out. And I think some guy even made this in a comment, and it's true. You cannot take this game serious, because this game, the moment you try to take it serious, you're gonna notice a bunch of things can't be taken serious. It's basically designed not to be taken serious. This is why I was advocating for triple DPS, advocating for playing whatever. Obviously, under the context, you gotta use your brain right here. Under the context of what you're given, maybe you actually do have to go double tank. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe you have to sacrifice. Maybe you have to bend your leg. Maybe you have to like compromise on some sort a level. But you know why I don't compromise most of my games? Because most people in my games are just entitled, don't want to compromise, and they all try to hide behind the fact that like, but I'm technically better than you, and I know I'm always getting elims, or I'm always getting top healing, and I'm providing the most assists, and this is the reason why you shouldn't be going triple DPS, because I'm better and I know what I'm talking about, I've been here longer, and you're the reason why. But they'll all end up being hard stuck. They're all trying to hide behind reasons as to why they should be selfish and why you shouldn't be selfish. This game is always going to be egotistical. It's designed to be that way. It's made for fun. It's made for, you can just win or lose, you still get rewarded for it. Doesn't matter. I think GM you can get to GM and still have a negative win percentage. Doesn't matter. A bunch of these heroes, a bunch of changes has shown us time and time again that you shouldn't be taken serious. And I'm still going to say on my point, go triple DPS, go whatever you want to go. Under the context, don't try to be, like, I wouldn't say try to 100% try to be for yourself. I'm just saying just do what's best for you, and because I'm trying to look out for like your mental at this point. Because the moment you try to be a team player, the moment you try to do a bunch of things, you're gonna be humbled so quickly in this game. Like I said, just use your brain under the context. If you see that your team is actually competent, actually wants to play as a team, then be that person that's always being like compromising. And one of the main things people that aren't willing to work for or haven't realized is that the moment you try to be a team player, the moment you're actually trying for your team, it's the moment your stats are going down. The moment you stop caring about stats is the moment you actually be a team player. It's the moment you actually become unhard stuck. You actually start ranking up. You actually start playing better. Like, I bet even streamers and other content creators will understand this, that the moment you start taking this game serious is the moment you basically rank up. I mean, not rank up, but it's the moment you basically have fun. Because they will tell you, taking this game serious is the worst mistakes you can do. And I don't know if I said this, but literally just test it out for yourself. Test how many players in your team are willing to compromise. Look at that Cloak and Dagger on your team. Look at that Mito main in your team. 100%, or that DPS player, any of these players. Offer them, say, you know what, I'm not comfortable in this role. Can we switch since you know how to play that role apparently, and all that stuff. The moment you do that, they're not willing to compromise. They're like, I have to compromise for a person that doesn't know how to play this role on my team. Oh my god, really? But the moment someone takes their spot before them, and the moment they have to DPS or play a role they're not really comfortable with, or it's their second role, the moment they end up doing bad, they're gonna try to look for a bunch of excuses or blame their teammates. And I've seen this a bunch of times. Like, just test it out for yourself. And I tested this out on supports. They don't never want to switch. I'll be like, they will complain about me not being able to flex or whatever, or fill in. I'm like, all right, you fill in since I can't fill in at the moment. They don't want to do it. No one wants to compromise. Look at this game.